أهلا وسهلا فيكم مرة ثانية. Welcome back everyone. We would now like to invite Mr. Said Al-Mandhari, CEO of ITHCA, to deliver the opening note for the technology panel. Mr. Mandhari, the stage is yours.
أنا ما أعرف أتكلم بالعربي بالإنجليزي لأنه الحضور كله بالعربي، مش رايكم نتكلم بالعربي يعني. So anyway, today we're gonna talk about the technology sector or information technology sector, which I used to work in it a few years ago. Today, information technology is not more than an infrastructure to all other sectors. Now, I work in another sector called technology, which is unfortunately disruptive, evolved in every other sectors, and we are everywhere. And one of the evidence that's the panel which we've seen just before the break talked mostly about the technology, specifically the 7 C's when they said we invest in the technology and the energy sector, which is an enabler for every other aspects on that sector itself. Today, most of the CEOs, as per the statistics, would put most of their budgets on the on the technology and how to deploy the technology in an efficient way, either to improve their performance and efficiency, or to increase as well the contribution or the revenue pipelines on any business, including the monetization of the data which has to be collected from all the operation aspects of the different technologies. Most of the CEOs, as per the statistics, maybe in the slides there, shows that they're still investing a lot on the technology in different aspects. There's quite a big amount of investment has been put last year, as per Gartner, or this year in 2023, an increase of 5.5% in the spending on the technology. It's as well, there's a growth of 2.5x of a contribution of the economy, the digital economy on the GDP, more than the physical, let's say, economy. There is a big as well investments on the region on the technology. And when I say again a technology, I don't mean the information technology. It is the investment in technologies to empower all the other sectors. In Oman and Her, we have named 5 main sectors for diversification, in addition to the oil and gas, or the energy. So we have 6 sectors which depends a lot on the technology to evolve more and to have a better efficiency and to monetize mostly the data which is produced by all of these sectors. Today, if we speak about technology, then we see that 95% of all the CEOs will maintain post-COVID to spend. Although pre-COVID was the spending was quite tangible. However, post-COVID, they have identified the importance of the technology in a better way. The proposition has been positioned in a different way to touch all aspects of the production, operation, and projects. So it's been really positioned in a very well-structured manner in all other technologies. Now, we have done a bit of survey of what are the impact of the technology when it comes to different sectors. And mostly, as per Gartner's reports, there's some technologies which has been ranked nowadays as the highest technology spending, namely artificial intelligence, anything to do with digital trust and digital assets tokenizations, and anything to do with the metaverse and making the environment, the digital environment, to mimic the actual environments for testing and for environment protection. All of this has been identified as the top technologist for investments in all technologies. In order for any sector or any corporate to invest on the technology, there is a three main, if we can go to the next slide, there's a three main elements has to be identified or has to be put in under a very big focus. The first one is the human capital. The fourth industrial revolution will depend mainly on the highest investments in the human capital in order for the technology to be implemented and to be positioned in the right way. Human capital is the main assets of any environment, and the technology will depend on the innovation of the human capital or the contribution of the innovation on the human capital. The second elements, as we said in here, the innovation, which is connected again to the human capital. Innovation and excelling the investments in the innovation will differentiate the companies, the governments, the countries from each other. The most, the more the companies or the organizations are investing on the innovation, the more IPs produced from these innovations, the best results or the outcome can be achieved. The differentiation of any organizations in the future will be identified by the strength of the human capital and by the innovation, the amount of the innovation they are adopting and the amount of the IPs they are producing out of this innovation. And of course, the third pillar is to focus on the right investments and avoiding the duplication on these investments, as a spectrum of the investments, not only in the technology, but in all other aspects, are becoming very challenging because of the diversity. So each organization or each government has to focus on exactly what to invest in, and as much as possible, streamline these investments to achieve a certain objectives. In the technology specifically, if we talk about the spectrum of the technologies, you would find it very wide. For example, investments in artificial intelligence only can be in a 9 or 12 digits to achieve the economy of or a double increase of the growth or GDP every year. You have to focus on a specific investments in a specific technology. Diversifying the technology, or widening your scope and diversification of the technologies would left you without a pure innovation and or identification in a specific sector. Therefore, we would always recommend that the integration and collaboration between different countries to happen, as the competitive advantage of different countries can diversify. Therefore, each country can have a center of excellence specified in different technologies, and then the collaboration between these center of excellence can achieve a better results. That's overall what we say, the innovation and the human capital and the focus of the technology and the disruption which can cause. Now, talking about our role as ITHCA group, we are a group which is owned fully by Oman Investment Authority. We are mandated to invest on the technology. We are a purely strategic investor. We do investments on the technology for those gaps which is required to fill the gaps available on the markets, and to evolve the market and increase the contribution of the GDP. Our true north in this is to invest in projects which has a direct contribution to increase the GDP, and secondly, to create more jobs. So human capital and a more focus on investments which increase the contribution to GDP. Of course, the main contributor to GDP is to create local companies which can export more products, and therefore we focus a lot in building the small companies. So that's why we are investing a lot on the VC ventures on the technology, looking forward to have a more pipeline of companies which can be accelerated to the adjacent markets and the world markets, and therefore we contribute by having more products on the technology available worldwide. With this, I think we need to move to the panel, and if there is any question, we can take it there. Thank you very much.